All right, so I think the string thing about things is now ready to go, though. So, hello, everybody. MegaZardX here, back at it again to give you another very exciting podcast episode. That being my ZardCast episode 56. Now, I would say some things has happened within the past couple of weeks, though. That would literally be an understatement because a crap ton of stuff happened, or at least one big thing, that being Tears of the Kingdom, has finally came out and released. And this one, as you can see from the thumbnail, it's going to be a special episode. It's going to be one that's going to be a little bit different. I'm calling it like a super live podcast because I'm literally going to be playing Tears of the Kingdom while also talking about a few of the things that happened within the past couple of weeks. But at least this way it gives you a new perspective. Going to be giving like more of like a live impression of the game, and then just randomly talking about a few other topics here and there, though. But I will not be doing this here alone. I got my boy over here, Steven. How's it going, man?
Currently.
Wait, say that again.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Nah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm doing alright. Also playing Tears of the Kingdom, exploring caves.
Okay, all right, yeah. No, shoot, man. I was like, I thought I knew everything there was going into this game, or quote unquote. I say that I felt like I might have had like a foundation, and they kind of shook that up. So I'm like, oh shoot. All right, so let me break this down. So yeah, so as I said earlier, I'm gonna be going through, playing through Tears of the Kingdom. It's literally a little after the point of where I did my opening stream, my launch day stream, because my launch day stream was kind of like, you know, just those opening moments like the Great Sky Island, and then a little bit where I managed to touch surface level Hyrule. It's going to be a little moments later. I think I got roughly about 5 hearts or so, no addition to the stamina, and I had not progressed the story that much. But at least for this podcast episode, in terms of the footage, I will not be going any further in the story elements. I'm just going to be going through this, exploring Hyrule, opening up more of the maps, doing shrines. That's your expectation. So there's no story elements, you know, spoilers. But if you're kind of nitpicky about the environments and you see them themselves, then I'll leave that up to you. But there will be an audio-only version of the podcast as well that should go up on my podcast server, so you can look forward to that if you just want to hear my thoughts on the podcast and not necessarily see anything. But all right, so that's basically all the groundwork for this thing, though. So I think we might as well go ahead and jump up in it, though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump up straight up into that pop culture segment. All right, so first up, I'm gonna go ahead and boot up my save file over here because I technically was over here in the Hateno village, however you say that. The village where I think Link made a house in. Was that right, Steven?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start off here. Yeah. And at least in the pop culture segment stuff, the one thing I want to talk about is just with Marvel, because we did get the release of Guardians of the Galaxy. I saw that thing on launch day. Did you see that? You saw that on launch day too, right, Steven?
I seen it a day after launch. Okay, are we finally talking about peak fiction? This movie is peak fiction.
Yeah, man, because I literally, it's kind of crazy because I felt like I knew what I was going to get up in that movie, but I was pleasantly surprised. Like, it felt like comfort food at the end of the day, at least for me. I don't know about you.
It felt exactly like what I wanted from a Guardians 3. It just, like, in the best way possible, it just continued on everything I liked. And that's not a bad, sometimes more of the same is a good thing. Some people nowadays act like if you have the same thing, it's like a horrible thing. But no, this movie's great.
No, yeah.
Fantastic movie.
No, it was good from start to finish. And I don't want to talk about spoilers, but I know not everybody's probably gone out there and actually seen that movie, though.
Can we put a spoiler warning? I'd very much like to talk about this movie. Or, no, yeah, up to you.
I'm always a firm believer. I was like, I got to give him, like, how long has the movie been out? It's been like, what, a month? The movie
has been out for a week.
Oh, a week?
Like a week and a
Oh, no, that's not long enough, Steven. If it was a month, I could have stretched it, but a week?
Well, guess what? I can say with absolute certainty, without spoilers, that the movie is fantastic and you should go watch it.
No, yeah. And, oh, there's a shrine right over there. Yeah, because I would say at least this felt like comfort food for me, because I think the most comfortable I felt watching Marvel movies, usually when I was watching my Iron Mans, my Captain Americas, Those movies like there, obviously the Avengers movies, that's a given. Those are the most comfortable movies that you can kind of go through and watch. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was really nice. I like the way how they kind of told Rocket's story. Because I was
Yeah.
wondering, I knew he was gonna be out of commission based upon the previews and trailers and stuff like that, though. But I was kind of, it was told a lot through backstory, and you'll see it while you're watching the movie, though. But I felt like that was pretty well handled. And then by the time I thought we were gonna lose somebody, in that movie, though. But I'll leave that up to you, though. But man, shoot.
The more, without saying anything, the more, like, the good thing about it, like, it's handled well only because the more you find out about Rocket's backstory, the more of that stuff actually shows up in present day. And they've revealed this so I can say, the main villain of the movie, the more you find out about his involvement in Rocket's past, the more he shows up. And then obviously the two plot lines kind of intersect towards the third act.
Yeah, they really do. And it's kind of interesting because I will say the villain, I was watching it with my family, and then I was having to watch it with my sister too. And then she was like, "Man, I don't like that enemy up here." And I was like, I know he's not like the most interesting villain, but the fact that his involvement with Rocket's history, or Rocket's story, should I say, I think that's the thing that made him. It's not like a menacing, villain, but it made him interesting enough where I was like, oh, okay, he doesn't have to be super great. I felt like this whole story was definitely centered around, the members of the Guardians of the Galaxies. That's the given.
Did you just say that the villain wasn't menacing? He is pure evil.
I mean, he is evil, but I mean,
no,
maybe not as
evil.
bad. Yeah, not as like evil as like what we've seen with some other enemies. If that makes sense.
Name a villain that you would say is more evil. I can't think of one.
Red Skull.
Okay, Red Skull was just gonna be a Nazi in a rule.
I mean, that's evil enough for me. That dude was willing to kill some dudes.
Okay, without saying anything, this dude kills a lot of people.
I mean, he does. Yes.
A lot of people for absolutely no reason. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do it for any reason whatsoever. You get what I'm saying? That's my mentality. He doesn't have he has one purpose, and he does not care about anything else that gets in his way. Which he's very passionate. Also, whoever the actor was, a fantastic delivery. Like, they gave him such an evil, he's angry all the time.
He is angry all the time. You're right about that.
But I like it. No, I think he does a great job with showing his the energy.
I don't know why, but when I was seeing his performance, it kind of reminded me of the voice actor for Kang. I don't know why. He kind of gave me some similar vibes with kind of how crazy. Yeah, he kind of gave me some vibes like that, and I was like, huh.
Hey, listen, honestly, if this was the villain they were going forward with, I would have been honestly better with that.
Oh, really?
I kind of yeah, I don't know. I obviously Kang has a bit more of emotion to him. He's got more of a personality, a reason for what he does. But this guy he's a villain, and he loves being a villain. I guess he revels in what he does, which I respect. I respect the grind.
You respect the grind.
I respect the grind. Yeah, but enough about the villain. I just think he's this movie has this movie has so much stuff. I can't possibly talk about all of it.
Oh no, it does. I was like, and the fact that it is a conclusion movie for our story with our our guardians. Yeah, I kind of want to give them. I don't know, maybe because I talk about Marvel here on my podcast, but outside of that, I usually don't do, unless it's really big. I usually don't do anything else on my main channel. But I don't know, they might warrant something for me to throw on my extras channel or something like that. Just my proper goodbye or whatnot to them, because I'm really gonna miss all of them. Because I was like, it didn't hit me until the end, like when you were watching the credits for it at the very tail end. When they started playing some of that iconic music that you heard within the first, first few Guardians movies, that's when it really hit me. I was like, dang.
I'm still gonna say the second movie is better in my opinion, but that's only because I personally really like the Yondu in that movie. You know, like the
Oh no, yeah, Yondu was great. I kind
I
of thought
think
he
he
was a little
carries the
annoying.
movie
Not
for me.
annoying. I thought he was kind of like he was interesting for the fact of him being a father figure for Peter, but I thought he was gonna go on the crazy end or something like that. But then the way how they resolved that conflict at the end, he was like, "Hey, I was doing the best for you. Your father
Mary
was the
Poppins, yo.
one. The father was the one that abandoned you. I basically raised you up. Yes, my ways were a little different from his, but." And then it took him,
Yeah.
until that point to really appreciate that.
Yeah, Peter's basically had like three father figures in his life. His grandfather from before he gets abducted in the first movie, Yondu, and then a little bit of Ego in the second movie.
Yeah, no, Ego's a piece of crap, man. What
Yeah.
the heck?
And like I just think they do a pretty good job at establishing what they're saving is important, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the main force that they're saving in all three movies is a huge deal for the most part. Especially in this movie, there's let's just say a lot that they're guarding. Guardians of the Galaxy are guarding a lot this time around.
They sure are, and at least some of those fight scenes and the choreography and all of that stuff, it was really nice because there was that one point where you're kind of hitting the climax of that movie, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be like literally one of their last fights, and I was like, you could tell. The people that were designing the fights and the CGI that was kind of going on with it, they were trying to go all out because they knew that this was the last, go around for these group of people. And I was like, man, I don't know. It just felt a little surreal.
It's very fun. I love it a lot. I don't know what else to say besides it's such a good movie.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie. If you're having doubts, you can go into this one fully knowing that, hey, if you like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, it's the same of that, just a bit more in terms of, with it concluding everything now. And oh shoot, I kind of want to say this, but I can't though. But watch what Groot says. That's all I got to say. If you know, you know. But
Yes.
I was like,
Oh, okay.
dang.
I could say that without spoilers. I think that he's also pretty fun in the movie. They do really unique things with his visuals this time around. Because obviously he's back to full form as we seen in the holiday special.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Because like what we started off with adult Groot, then we went to baby Groot, then we did teen Groot, and now we kind of ended him with like a young
Yeah.
adult Groot, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's like he almost completed the whole cycle again.
No, that's why I honestly do like the message of that. It's come full circle. Everything, it kind of shows more that it's a conclusion because they're back where they began in a way.
Yeah.
And also, this movie is just pure unadulterated badass is the only thing I could describe it as. Like there's a lot like they just feel like a nice team. As I think they said this in the second movie at one point. Yeah, they argue a lot. They seem like they're not friends, but they're the best team out there.
Yeah.
Like they work really well together.
And it is kind of interesting because like the way how they kind of ended it makes you think it leaves room for them to kind of do some stuff, but it's not going to be the same. If you know, you know.
Yeah. No, I know. There is one character that I think they could have handled a bit better, but he still gets a heartwarming ending.
Hmm.
Or I like the ending they did with him. And without saying anything, he was teased at the end credits of Guardians 2. You know which character I'm talking about if you've watched that movie.
Oh yeah.
I like what they did with that character. I kind of expected him to be the main thing of this movie, but not really. Still serves his role though as the main starting point of the movie. Also the fact that okay, no, I can't say that.
Oh.
I can just say that the acting in the movie was also great. All the actors were at their best, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, they have said that some of these characters there will be expired after this movie, or the actors won't be coming back.
Oh yeah. No, I'm pretty sure the only one we know that's gonna come back, which oh man, they had one hidden down here. No, the only one that we know that's more than likely gonna come back is that ain't no spoiler surprise. Will be literally Peter. But I mean, outside of that, I don't think anybody else will. They might make a cameo or something like that.
Oh,
I mean,
they'll definitely.
they kind of have it set up where I feel like some of them will, but not
There's no,
everybody.
there's no way that a certain character or certain there's no way that a certain group of characters shown will not come back in like the Kang Dynasty or something.
Yeah. Which,
Like yeah.
yeah, because once you get up into that craziness, they literally could show them in their prime again. It gets a little weird when you start talking about the stuff that could
Hey,
happen in Secret Wars. It gets a little
hey,
weird.
listen. I think they can handle it well because here's the thing. I like I like Infinity War and Endgame a lot. I really do. And Infinity War is a great movie, but Endgame it certainly has its problems, but the best parts of both Infinity War and Endgame, I would still say are the like scenes with the Guardians. Like they did a perfect job of translating them from their own movies into Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially in Infinity War, which a lot of major stuff happens with the Guardians. Specifically, Gamora's death. Oh, spoilers for a 6-year-old movie, or 5 years, kinda. Isn't that crazy that Infinity War, I'm pretty sure, like recently, is now 5 years old?
I get in a way it kind of feels like that. I mean, shoot, I feel like time
It
is
is.
really flowing because it's like some people would mention or say things like, "Oh, Skyward Sword is like well over a decade old." I was like, "Bro, I remember playing that mess in my house around Christmas time when my brother got it." It's little things like that. It's easiest to make game references, or if they talk about if someone brings up a movie reference or something like that. It's like, what the heck? But yeah,
Make
it's like time just keeps rolling.
I'm gonna make a Korok suffer right now.
Oh man, don't even get me started on these dumb Koroks, bro. Like what the
I
heck?
just I'm putting him on a cart and attaching a time bomb to it.
Bruh. Oh shoot. Alright. Well, I think we got most of our thoughts out on Guardians of the Galaxy. Anything else? Or
Not really. Go watch it right now. Go see it. That's it. What are you waiting for? Stop watching this podcast. Go watch the
whoa, whoa,
movie.
whoa, we're not going that far now.
Okay,
We ain't going that
yeah.
far. I need to
Alright,
watch time hours.
fine. Continue watching the podcast and then go watch the movie immediately after, and then come back to the podcast and see if you liked it as well.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think that's pretty much it in terms of the pop culture segment stuff. So now let's go ahead and hit a few of these gaming topics, including the impressions. So let's go ahead and jump up into that. All right, yeah. So there's a handful of stuff that happened, and I got Twitter pulled up on the side while I'm doing all this mess. One of the things I kind of just want to quickly mention was the fact that we did get the announcement that they finally are releasing Marvel's Guardians. Oh, I still have Guardians of the Galaxy in my mind. No, Marvel's Spider-Man, the
Yeah.
remaster one that's on PS5. You're finally able to go through and actually purchase that individually because for the longest time you can only get that copy if you bought the physical or the digital version, the one that was like the Miles Morales one that had like all the games,
Did you
both those
wait?
games back up in there.
Did you not get a free upgrade included with if you had Spider-Man on PS4? I swear you
Oh
had to.
no, no. Now they're talking about it because if you have the PS4 version now, it's going to be a $10 upgrade for you to go from the PS4 one. You can either have the baseline, the year,
Alright.
the game of the year version, or there's one more version, and then
Wait, if
yeah.
you had the base game, will it basically be $10 to get that because it will come with the DLC?
I don't know if it'll come with the DLC.
Well,
Well, hold on.
remastered automatically comes with it. But
Oh, you know what? Maybe that's maybe that's the
but I don't know.
case.
I personally think a $10 upgrade is a little much, especially because I don't really think it. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't really think remastered is much of an upgrade besides a consistent frame rate. Everything else I'd say is not really that.
I think no, it's the frame rate, and I think the loading because I thought you could notice some of the loading in the PS4
I don't know.
version.
It's
Because I know whenever
obviously
the
the better
PS5
version.
came out, they were using that as like a showcase of saying, "Hey, this is what the PS5 can basically do," and that's what they were doing. Because I think some of the loading when you went from one side to the other, I think that's whenever some people kind of noticed it the most. But outside of that, Not so much.
Alright, so I may have killed the Korok.
There's no way you can kill a Korok.
No, but I just time bombed his ass. Trust me, I wish there was a way to kill a Korok. You do not understand my pain.
Bruh. Well, I got some fresh milk by giving this dude some nuts. That's all I'll say.
Hey, hey, I'd do the same. That's all I'll say.
Some of these side quests you can kind of complete pretty quick though. But I think that's pretty much it. It's kind of interesting how they're doing that. Oh, and then also I guess I'll mention this as well because I didn't actually have this in my notes originally though. But the PlayStation Plus extra games that releasing for the month of May that we're in right now.
Where are they?
The most notable one was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. You're finally able to actually get that game because for the longest time, it wasn't included, even though it's like one of the first few games that came out on the PS5. Because now, like, you have Horizon Forbidden West. That's like a big one. I know it's on there first party wise. And now you got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. God of War Ragnarok is not on there yet. But I think that's about it in terms of the big ones.
Oh, could I just mention one thing since we're on the topic of like PlayStation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Games that were popular on PlayStation. It's not PlayStation exclusive anymore, but it got its like big break on PS Plus. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is a game that I have talked about. I kind of like the game, and they just recently did their new season where they added like a level, like a creative mode, like a level editor. Because basically that game, it's got like 40, it's like 40 people all racing to the end. It's almost like a game show type of thing, where it's full of like wacky obstacles, and you just got to get to the end as fast as you can. And that game, they finally added like a level editor, and it's pretty extensive. And they did like a whole new season where they added like 20 new rounds and a bunch of other cool stuff. So that's what I would have been kind of playing with in my free time. Besides, when that Tears of the Kingdom came out, I don't know when I'll get back to it.
Shoot, no, the way how this game is, I'm probably gonna be in it for like Breath of the Wild. I was in it for about a little more than 60. I can easily see I could double my playtime hour in this, or at least multiplying it by like 1.5, so maybe 90 hours by the time I'm done with everything. Because there's so many side quests, and some of them kind of got me mildly interested in completing. Because I felt like there were side quests in Breath of the Wild, but weren't nearly as many as like what's in this game. At least that's the feeling I'm getting.
This game has a lot less annoying ones, is what I'll say.
Yeah, it's a little more straightforward though. But yeah, so I think that was it in terms of the little bit of PlayStation update stuff that I kind of want to go through and talk about here real quick though. Now, this next topic right here, oh boy, it threw most of the internet into like a little bit of a tizzy, if I do say so myself. Because you heard about that interview from Phil Spencer, right?
I'm going to be completely honest, no, I haven't.
Wait, you really hadn't? Bro.
Oh, wait, is it the one about games? Like, having new games isn't enough to sell the system?
Yeah, the new system, the one where he quotes it and he's like, hey, there's no world that we live in that's going to make people sell their PS5s to buy something like Starfield, that cool, yeah.
Nintendo is literally the exact point. Like, Nintendo can prove by itself that you need good games to sell a system. People buy Xbox not because of their exclusive good games, but because of the entire library of good games you can get. Xbox is a perfect starting point to try out some really good games at a decent price if you get like a Series S.
No, yeah, because I feel like, because Nintendo, they rely so much more on their console sales as well as their, game sales, software sales, versus somebody like a PlayStation or sometimes Xbox, where they'll take a cost, they'll take like a hit to their cost in terms of them making a profit off of their system, but they'll make it up with their third party stuff via, like a bunch of third parties or, making deals with them, and obviously if you publish something for them on their system, obviously they get a little bit of the cut of the money. So they rely more so on that because Switch, you get third parties, but it's not nearly to the level and scope. It's like some of them big AAA's that you might get from like Capcom, Ubisoft, etc. That they're also
Yeah,
putting up on there.
I get what you're saying. That was like most of the crux of the interview, though, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because I think that one part of the one I just said about how they're selling system, like how you're not gonna have someone that's gonna sell a system for them or whatnot. I feel like with that, that's what sent everybody into a tizzy because the way how Phil Spencer kind of talked in that interview, because these people are asking him some like very harsh questions, like they weren't afraid to pull their punches, and you can kind of tell that this dude was kind of uncomfortable or whatnot though. But he answered them all straightforward, and it just sounds like he was kind of like a defeated man or a losing man, and just kind of made some people think, you know what, is Phil the right dude for this? Like should we get somebody else or anything like that?
Okay, I feel like that's a bit of an overreaction. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he might have been misinterpreted in his words a bit. Like, I don't know.
He could have, like, that's when like PR is like such a critical thing where that should have been something that could
Yeah,
have
well,
been
no,
factored in.
yeah, it should have been something that he should have been advised not to say, I bet. But, like, I don't know. It's like, I disagree, but who knows? Maybe from Xbox's financials, we don't really know. All I know is Xbox is lying out of their ass because they shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush, and that's an amazing Xbox console exclusive.
But that's the crazy thing is because we can talk about the specifics with Xbox. Their double A's, like games like Hi-Fi Rush, are good. But every time you come down to a triple A game, there's always issues. Like whether they're
I know.
not putting out
And
that many
then,
games, like comparison to like Nintendo and Sony, or the triple A's that they do put out, they're kind of not living up to the reputation of what they should
what
be. Hits like Redfall, if you've seen all the stuff for that, and I'm like,
did you
oh,
say? Did you say Hi-Fi Rush is a double A? It is a first-party IP for them.
it's a first party IP, but like double A, triple A in terms of like
Doesn't
that
really
that
matter at the end of the day.
it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying at least for them, at least for Xbox, because at the end of the day, that is still like a double A game. It's like it's still a nice game, but it's not like the money poured up into that game is something on the level
Well,
of what would be a Redfall or a
okay, well,
Starfield. That's what I
I,
was saying.
I would say it is. It's made by it's the next project from the team that did Evil Within, and I'd consider the Evil Within games AAA. Like, I don't know, Zard. They're part of Xbox. I'd say if it's
They're,
part of
they're part of
Xbox,
Xbox, yeah, but like, when have you
but like
ever seen a big AAA game get shadow drop? Like
I've seen it.
that's like literally like the
I've seen it.
definition of that.
I've
Or at
seen it,
least
Zard.
or at least when they do that kind of stuff, it might be a remaster of a game that's still technically AAA, and they had that stuff working in the background. But if you're talking about a Tears of the Kingdom, you're talking about a God of War, you're talking about a Halo, you would never ever, or a 3D Mario game, you'll never ever shadow drop those. That's what I'm talking
Uh,
about with putting that much money into a game. Like Hi-Fi
I've
Rush is still
seen.
good. I'm just saying they didn't put that much money up into that game to the level of degree of some of those
Okay,
other ones that I said. That's what
so
I'm getting at.
I'll say right now, Zard, until you've played Hi-Fi Rush,
I'm not
you
saying it's a
shouldn't say
bad
any.
game. I'm not.
No, no,
Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that game is so beautiful and has so much effort put into it. They definitely had a big budget.
yeah. They
Like, I'm
had big. I
sure.
just don't think it was like super big. But you get what I'm saying. Double A's, nothing wrong with them. Yeah. Shoot, there's a lot of people with questions
I
right
don't
here.
know. I'd say it's just as important as like a game like Metroid Prime Remastered. Like, you wouldn't call that game double A because it's like not much effort put into it. You get what I'm
No, I
saying?
mean for the time it was legit triple A. But
Well,
yeah,
no, but you get what I'm saying. Like, just because like a project doesn't have that much like money put into it, I don't know. I just wouldn't say that it's double A. I would disagree with you on that. I'd say Hi-Fi Rush is a triple A game, and I would also recommend that game if you ever have like 20 hours to kill. It's only $30. I don't know. If I guess you could make the argument that since it's only $30, that it's not a full release for them, but that's stupid. I think no matter what a price of a game should be, you should be able to. It should be judged on its own merits.
Oh no, yeah, 100%.
Like there are very cheap games I love. People like love Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is some people's favorite game of all time. That game is like $15. Sometimes 10. So like
You
there's
know
an
what?
argument.
And speaking of Hollow Knight, I did have this in my list, and I was wondering whether I was going to talk about it though.
Oh,
But
this.
Hollow
Yeah.
Knight Silk Song, apparently, remember in that Xbox presentation, it was almost literally about a year ago, because it was like almost E3 of last year. They were like, "Hey, all these games that are shown up here on the screen are going to come out within the next year." Obviously, you can't really control third-party games and whatnot though, because they could always change on you though. But at least your first party, they barely got Redfall out the door, because otherwise they were about to lie between Redfall, Starfield, and there was like one other game, but two of the three that weren't going to make it, and they had to get Redfall out, and hence that's why it came out in like such a broken
Yeah.
state.
Well,
But
yeah, compare Redfall to Hi-Fi Rush, and you see the quality jump.
yeah. Oh shit. Get on the other side of that
Like
thing.
I don't know, calling Redfall a AAA game is more of a stretch, Zard. That's what I'll say.
Well, they did put a lot of
Redfall
money
is
up in it. That's just all I'm saying.
not enough.
I wouldn't say it's not enough. I just felt like they just didn't have enough time.
They
'Cause,
had a
like,
marketing. Well, there's a difference between putting money into the game and putting money into the marketing campaign. They
I mean,
definitely
yeah, that
did
is.
the latter.
I mean,
They did the latter.
no, yeah, that's definitely true. That's
I don't
true.
want to talk about that game though. Yeah, let's not talk. Oh, thank God you don't have that on the topics, right?
What, for Redfall?
Yeah.
Nah, I was just mentioning that little bit right there. I
Good.
wasn't gonna go much deeper than that, but yeah.
The more people forget about that game, the better.
Good gracious, man. Oh, there's a Korok. But yeah, but yeah, I kind of got a little sidetracked though. But I was meaning to say, yeah, for Hollow Knight, yeah, originally they were shooting to get that game out within the span of a year, and then lo and behold, they didn't manage to hit that window frame, so they did have to delay it. So who knows when it's gonna come out? Maybe we're lucky it might come out at the later point of this year. But I know people
Yeah.
been starving to get that game.
Yeah, but like at least until then, Hollow Knight is definitely a replayable game. Like it's a big game that a lot of people still probably haven't chewed through the entirety of. So you got, I don't know, it also goes on sale all the time. So there's definitely, there's always a good way to play it.
Oh yeah, there definitely is. Let's see here. Yeah, so I think that was it in terms of the Xbox Phil Spencer thing. Okay.
Zard,
Oh
Tears
yeah,
of the
what?
Kingdom question.
Uh huh.
You said you flooded the gate, right? At Great Plateau?
Unflooded it. Yeah. Not flood.
Okay,
Unflood.
okay. Oh, I found it. It's a rock, right? It's just a rock holding back water.
It was something like that.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
either a
back
rock
to what you were saying.
or you just basically walked up and pressed A, essentially.
Okay.
But yeah. So I think that was pretty much it on that. Now we'll go ahead and I think that was most of my other things that were either third party or something with. Oh shoot! I better put something on. I didn't think it was this cold up here. Gosh dang. But yeah. So that's pretty much it with that. If I put this on, okay, there we go. That's good enough.
I am hot. I have my AC on.
No, I was talking about in the game. No. It is a little it is a little warm in the room I'm in, but I was like, it ain't that hot. Luckily, it's been like raining a whole bunch, so it's been okay. But no, so I think that was it in terms of most of the things that are either third party or okay. There's one more thing I gotta mention before we hit the like just pure Nintendo stuff. But apparently, and I don't know if you heard about this, Steven, though, but apparently GameFreak is partnering up with what is it called? Private Division, and they have a new game in the works called Project Bloom. It's like an action adventure game, and I saw that and I was like, huh. Because if you remember right, I think the last thing Game Freak worked on that wasn't Pokemon was legit.
Little Town Hero.
Yeah, Little Town Hero, which that game didn't turn out too hot.
It just looked so unpolished and cheap and not fun. And when I say unpolished and cheap, I mean like at least Pokemon games when they look unpolished and cheap are fun.
Oh yeah.
Scarlet, Scarlet and Violet does not look like it's a AAA game, but it's still a fun game. Little Town Hero, I played that demo or whatever they had. Maybe I just forgot if I bought it. I'm not gonna go check. It was depressing.
Uh
It,
huh.
it was not a fun experience. I did not want to go play that again.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely the case. But yeah, so it's interesting how they're saying they're working on that, which I think, if I remember right, this the partnership between these two, the what was it, Private Division, they technically work with oh shoot, I just had this thing pulled up here just a minute ago. Oh, Take Two, which Take Two with the people that are associated with.
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah,
Oh no, I'm
yeah,
really?
yeah.
The
So
fuck?
yeah,
What
or
are
at
they
least with the
doing?
publishing side, that's what they said. I don't know how many people they're gonna have actually helping them work on this thing, though. So it's kind of weird because there's some other people out here that normally do podcasts and stuff like that. I hadn't really heard much of anybody really talking about this, so that's the kind of like eye opener. I'm surprised no one has kind of said anything much more about this, but maybe I'm not just
I
looking
feel
in the
like well
wrong
because
places.
they literally just said a project name and that was it. So
Yeah, that's true. Trying to get some wolf meat. Dang. Oh, finally. Dang, I got some big old pieces of meat. Man, you lucky I don't have no arrows on me, though. I ran out. I need to get some more. But yeah, so not too much information on it. We just know that it's in the works right now, and beyond that, that's basically all we know about that project right now. This is something I have to basically keep my eye out on and see if anything fruitful comes out of it, though. But the fact they're kind of associated with Take Two, it's quite interesting. Oh shoot, I need that bow.
definitely interesting.
But yeah, so outside of that, I think that's pretty much it in terms of most of the other topics I have that was basically non-Nintendo. Now, if we were to talk about some of the Nintendo stuff, but the last thing I had on here before we talk about the impressions on this game is we did get the fiscal report for the updated sales and stuff for like the console as well as the software sale, and at least for the oh shoot, Mario! Oh shoot! Get the
What'd you
freak out of
find?
here! Oh no, I saw these hands, man. Ah!
Yeah.
Get the
Yeah.
heck away from me! Oh shoot,
Yeah.
this is the Guardian equivalent. I'll let y'all know this right now. This is the Guardian equivalent
What
in
did I
this
tell you?
game. Oh
What
shoot,
did
that's the
I?
second
What did
time I
I?
ever ran into those things.
You could. By the
Oh
way, Zard.
shoot.
I would personally, without saying anything, try beating him.
No, I tried it one time, and the problem is those things will always try to grab you real quick.
Here's what you do: get to
Ugh.
high ground if you have it, and pelt it with bomb flower arrows. That's your
That's
strat.
the problem. I don't have any arrows on me at the moment. So that's my issue. I'm gonna go back there and hopefully that thing doesn't reappear. Oh, I need to heal myself too. Shoot, what was I going on? Oh yeah, so I was talking about the software sales and the console sales for the game so far though. So if I was, let's see here, I think yeah, because I got somebody that literally always talks about this stuff. So I think like starting at spot number 10, you have Super Mario 3D World at 11.38. Luigi's Mansion's at
Really?
12.82. Yeah,
Wait. Surprise Mario 3. These are like top 10 best selling.
yeah, the top 10 highest selling. Yeah.
I did not expect that to be. Is Ring Fit still in the top 10?
No, it fell out.
Okay.
No, yeah, because it used to be up there for quite a while. So like Super Mario 3D World 11.38, Luigi's Mansion 3 12.82, Pokemon Legends Arceus is at 14.83, Scarlet and Violet's at 22.1, Mario Odyssey is at 25.76, and then the top five, Sword
Oh
and
no.
Shield is at 25.82. I think it won't take too much longer until Scarlet and Violet surpasses that. Breath of the Wild is at 29.81. So maybe, with Tears of the Kingdom being out now, a little bit longer, and I feel like Breath of the Wild will go over that 30 million, and I don't expect for it to sell much more beyond it. Smash Ultimate's at 31.09, Animal Crossing New Horizons at 42.21, and the king that can never be stopped, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, at a toasty 53.79 million units. That's all. That's a little over 11 million more units sold over Animal Crossing, which is second place.
That
And I'm
game is
like,
never,
gosh dang.
especially with the DLC succeeding as much as it has, that game's not going anywhere.
Oh, it really ain't. And the funny thing is, let's say if the Switch, or I say Switch, the next console that comes after this thing, if it were backwards compatible, literally they could that game will be playable on the next system. And I'm like, shoot, if Mario Kart 8 Deluxe turns into the what would be the Grand Theft Auto 5 for Nintendo, that would be kind of crazy.
It already has.
I mean, it kind of has. Okay, if you consider between Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U to this, technically, yes.
It's almost been 10 years, I think. What, 2013 or 2014? Either way, it came out in May of... Was it 2013? May of 2013 sounds right.
Yeah. Which literally is technically over like a decade old, which is kind of crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. But yeah, no, it is kind of crazy to think about that.
Damn it.
Oh no, he killed me, you little rat!
That Korok is so annoying.
Ugh, good gracious. But yeah, so those are all the software sales on the thing. Now, in terms of console sales, the Switch did manage to sell 100. It's currently at 125.6 million units. So it's getting close to the DS and PS2 levels, because PS2 was like roughly around 155-ish million. So yeah, Nintendo's about 30-ish million away from it. And in terms of their like expected forecast, they're thinking they could probably sell another 15 million. Dang it, this thing reappeared. You little piece of crap. Maybe you hadn't noticed me yet.
Hey,
no,
Zard.
They hadn't noticed me yet. Oh shoot.
I genuinely can see the Switch selling like another 15 million.
Oh really?
I feel like this game is gonna soar into like at least the top 10. It was Breath of the Wild in top 5. I kind of zoned out. Sorry.
No, yeah, Breath of the Wild was number 4 at 29.81 million.
Makes
units.
sense. Yeah. Can't stop the kings. Smash Ultimate is still surprising to me. Smash was always big, but like, my god.
No, yeah, it's always big. It's always gonna be big, and I think it's always gonna stay in the top 5, because I feel like we're getting to that point in the game. Not game. We're getting that. Oh wait, what the heck? That thing spawned something right before it left. We're getting to that point in the Switch's life. I feel like we're kind of getting near the very end, where things is going to start to slow down a little bit, because literally I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is the last big game that we're getting for the Switch, and then after that you're going to have Pikmin 4, but beyond that we don't know much of anything else. Like, we know there's going to be DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we know there's going to be DLC for Splatoon 3, but that's it. 2 DLC expansions and 1 more game, and that's all we know. I don't think
Mario Kart.
Oh, and Mario Kart. Okay, Mario Kart. Three DLCs, 1 brand new game, and beyond that, we don't know much more.
Yeah, that's true, and like, I do kind of hope they have a bit more cooking than what we know about, but like, we'll see.
I mean, we'll know the answer by July at the latest. Because I think even whenever they decided they weren't going to do E3 last year, I think we knew our information by July. I think it was at the latest. But that's what I'm thinking. And the other thing that people might say is, oh, what about Metroid Prime 4? At this point, I'm just thinking it's a next generation console thing. I'm just putting all my...
I don't know. I do think it is coming out next year.
Yeah, it could be next year, because even if they do drop the next new hardware next year, I still would expect it to be like close to a launch game.
As much as I hate to admit this, Pikmin 4 coming out kind of shows the system is slowing down. because they're running out of major things they can pull out without. Because
Yeah.
think about it like this: Pikmin has always been the type of series to use the hardware to its fullest. Pikmin 3 looked beautiful on Wii U. So, like, I completely get it. Like, I completely understand them being like, okay, you know what, we're just gonna do this instead. So they're just, they release Pikmin, and now I could only assume that, what am I trying to say? I don't know. I could just see that, like, we're getting to, like, the later days of the console's life.
Oh yeah, and even Nintendo themselves, they said they're kind of disappointed in the sales for the system, and
Disappointed is a strong word.
because they said they have to drop their expectations down by like 10 to 15% or something weird like that. So it's like they knew it couldn't, because they usually, I think they've been on the average at a bare minimum, they've been kind of used to selling the system for about almost 20ish million or so. So they're not being used to having to do anything much lower than that. But at the rate they're going, if they can sell the 15 million within this year or this fiscal year, that will put them at 140, meaning they'll still need to do another 15 million. But if the next generation Switch comes out next year, they'll need like maybe a couple more years, maybe a price cut, and maybe a couple more years of like a transitional period where they're still selling the Switch. People can still buy it, and maybe for cheaper. That could possibly push them over the 155ish million marker. That's just what I'm thinking.
Maybe. I, personally, just hope the Switch keeps getting good games.
I hope so too, but I feel like the writing's kind of on the wall. Like I definitely feel like Tears of the Kingdom is probably gonna be the swan song of the Switch. Like we started it with it, we ended it with it. The Zelda series usually has a history of when they drop out a game, it's usually either at the very beginning of the console life or it's kind of at the very end. Like with Skyward Sword, when that game came out, 1 year later we moved on to the Wii U. You know,
Yeah, but I could definitely... Yeah, but especially with just how big the install base is, Nintendo will keep putting games out for the Switch for a while. You get what I'm saying?
oh no, yeah, definitely. Like
Zard, I'm
they
just gonna
probably
say
will
it
treat
right
it like
now.
with the PS5, PS4 kind of thing. Yeah.
It would literally be the worst economic move ever if the next console cannot play Switch games.
Oh no, I don't think they're able to at this point, especially when you got your online server stuff set up. Because it's like
Yes.
that'd be weird if you're saying, hey, you got
Wouldn't
this
that suck
new
if you
Switch
pay...
X and it doesn't work even with the baseline thing. Even though all those games from 60 N64 downward, it's still gonna work fine on the Switch as well as what will be on the new system. So it
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? That's the thing about Nintendo, Zard, we just don't know.
I mean, yeah, you're
Like,
true. We
I
don't
kinda,
know, but
kinda wish Nintendo was a bit more clear about stuff like that.
yeah, I wish they were. But at the end of the day, they're gonna Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. Oh shoot, I'm kind of
Yeah,
close.
geez, yeah, Zard, I can see what you're talking about. There's a gold boss bokoblin at the Great Plateau.
No, yeah, that area is a little absurd.
I'm gonna try to fight it. Well, that's just
Oh,
because I'm
well, good
insane.
luck. Good luck, my man. Good luck. Well, I think that's pretty much it in terms of most of the stuff with the fiscal sales. So that should be just about it. And I think lastly, we'll go ahead and jump straight up into the last little bit of what I wanted to talk about tonight. That being the review and or my not review my impressions over Tears of the Kingdom along with Stevens. Because oh shoot, this game right here, you can clearly see what's kind of going on here. On the YouTube side of things, if you're watching this podcast here, though. But I would say the second we started off on the Great Sky Islands, or the Great Sky Island, I was like, this is really interesting. I was like, I was kind of really digging. Oh shoot, what the heck is like? You see weird old contraptions like this, and I'm like, wait a minute now. I'm like,
Dude,
oh
there's a lot
shoot.
more puzzle solving. Like, there's actually like, oh, what do I need to do? And then you find out, and you're like, oh, that's cool. A
No,
lot
yeah,
less of that in Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, it always is like use a rune and just put it like use this rune and maybe you'll have to use another rune as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was like one where you gotta like stasis something and then like launch a bomb on top of it. There's only like 3 like that in the whole damn game.
Oh, let's see. I'm gonna mark
I don't
that
know.
real quick though. No, but yeah, there is a whole lot more problem solving up in this thing, and sometimes I'm kind of good at that stuff. Sometimes, not as much and all of that stuff. But it does make things really interesting while you're going out on places like Twitter and just viewing stuff like that, and then just seeing the crazy ways of how people been able to actually maneuver and navigate and do all this crazy stuff in this world, because I feel like this game is really open. Like, I thought Breath of the Wild was open, but now looking at this in comparison to, comparing Tears of the Kingdom back to Breath of the Wild, you had the sky, you had the surface. There's a whole entire underground that they did not even discuss. They briefly showcase you looking to be like you're underground, but I think that little glimpse,
Sure.
yeah, no, that little glimpse that they showed us, you remember that, Steven. It was like you were wearing like that volcano gear that you normally get there.
Yeah,
But there was enough
like
light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a fire dungeon.
Yeah, and there was really enough light over there where oh wait, there's another one. Oh, wait,
Oh yeah, of course. Now we know why it looked a bit lit up, because you're gonna, there's like light roots.
Yeah, but I think it was lit up so much where I felt like maybe that. Oh no, I'm gonna kill. Oh no, shit. Oh,
So
I thought I was gonna kill myself.
I just want to make sure, like I know that like we're keeping spoilers to a minimum, but since we're both still pretty early in the game, I'm probably safe to talk about like stuff that I've gone through. Right?
Yeah, as long as story-wise, you can say up to the point where you jump off of the Great Sky Islands. We won't talk any further about that with story.
I can
But
say,
gameplay-wise,
like,
almost basically everything. Because like for example, the one thing Nintendo was keeping well hidden was the underground. Like when you jump up in that sucker, it's completely pitch black. And I was like, what the actual heck? I heard Alexis was going around messing with it. I was like, oh, it might be cool.
He was in there for 8 hours.
Yeah, I was like, I'm thinking it might be cool, but I wasn't thinking it was going to be all that. No, I was completely wrong about that.
I don't know how much you've explored it, but there's a ton of stuff. I don't know, there's a decent amount
I
to do
felt like I
down
was
there.
in there for at least 30, 40 minutes or something like that, doing two different things. And
you go in there, you collect pose. Oh my god. Zard, I am so worried. This bokoblin is chasing me and he's about to be struck by lightning.
Bruh, oh yeah, I forgot about the crazy stuff with weather. Like sometimes I'll have like a pitchfork and then just chunk it right before it's about to lightning strike it.
Literally trying to kill me by
bring the lightning to you.
Yes.
Bruh.
Watch out for that. But yeah, game's fun.
No, yeah, it really is. And I think between like the 4 different abilities that they give you, it really does kind of open things up, because I was like, oh, maybe I'll use the fuse, use a little bit of this, a little bit of that all the time. But I didn't think I was going to be using these abilities nearly as much. Wait, hold the phone. Is the water place completely muddied up?
Without saying anything, Zard, you might not have seen it. I actually do really like what they did with the Great Plateau.
Oh no, yeah. No, I actually went to the Great Plateau. The Great Plateau, they literally pulled a.
Did you get the quest to there?
You talking about the quest at the Temple of Time?
Yeah, like where you have to go to 4 different chasms.
No, yeah, I did, but I left there as soon as I activated it, because I was like, I'm not equipped to tackle all of this right now.
But yeah, no, I think that's a really good way to reuse areas in a new way. Like, it's like I'm revisiting the 4 shrines, but like it's harder. Like there's, it's like it's supposed to be a late game challenge now.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, yeah, I like it when they do little things like that, because it's literally like it's like the black 2 white 2 approach. It's like, hey, you knew this area before, but when we put a little bit of a time gap on there, make things a little more interesting, areas a little tougher and all of that stuff, it's like, yeah. And like right now, you can see this like on my screen right now. This is the area where you do the water temple thing, or not water temple, but
Are you in the Zora place right
yeah,
now?
the Zora place right now. And I'm
Well,
looking
then, yeah, you're
around and I'm like,
probably...
bro, how the place. Ah!
Well,
I
without
was talking to
saying...
y'all and this dude smacked me on the back of the head like that,
Eh,
bro. You little rat.
I don't know. You'll probably go to some kind of temple, I'd have to assume. I'm not gonna say anything, of course.
No, I was just I said temple. I don't know why I'm just so used to saying water temple, so I just kind of said that
Well,
though. But with the
it's
Zora
a good
region,
assumption.
like you could tell that something bad happened over here because like literally like the whole place is covered in like mud, and I'm like, what the heck is happening to this place right here? Like I left this place in much better condition than where it is right now. I'm like the heck. But
I
yeah,
haven't gone there yet, so I can't tell you.
yeah, so it's like little things like that. They've been messing with the surface because some people were kind of worried. Myself, I would say a little bit.
You
I,
know me, I was very worried.
I was concerned. I was like, how many more differences can they do with the surface of Hyrule to make it different enough and interesting enough for you to kind of warrant walking back around exploring it? But as you can see with little examples like this, no, like you can kind of put those thoughts aside though. Oh shoot, there's a big old yeah, I ain't messing with you, bro. But yeah, they did make just enough differences where it's like, hey, it'll warrant you kind of going back and exploring around, especially since they added in like new enemy types with the bokoblins and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, and I'll keep it a $1.50 with y'all. I did get my cheeks clapped a few good times, at least starting off this game. Because when they start you off with 4 hearts, you be running around thinking, oh, you know what, you're doing pretty good and stuff right now. But like, oh shoot, wait, oh shoot. Okay, well, never mind.
You know, I get the gist of it though. Yeah. Right now, Zard, I have made a flying machine. I put a hot air balloon and a fan on a sled, and it's just going diagonally up.
Huh.
Zard, I cannot wait for the speedrun of this game to find a way to get Zonai really fast and just build whatever.
Oh no, yeah, that'll be fairly interesting.
By any chance, it was in the live stream. Have you seen them in the live stream use the new auto build ability?
No, I didn't see him in the live stream doing that, but I can imagine that'll make things a lot more convenient because it does take a little bit of time using Ultra Hand to actually go through and fully craft all the stuff that you kind of want to do. So I imagine an auto build ability would kind of be pretty nice.
Well, basically, so you use auto build, and the stuff that you did not have the Zonai for, it will. Well, no, you can use Zonai to get the items that you did not have. So let's just say you're making your car, you're missing a wheel. You can use like a couple Zonai to replace the wheel. So it kind of keeps the flow of it going.
I see.
It's interesting.
I'm trying to figure out how to.
My flying machine has fallen into a chasm.
Well, bro.
Wait, no, recall. Go.
No, but yeah, what was I about to say? Yeah, but those chasms, it's still kind of crazy how Nintendo kept that whole thing hidden with their oh shoot, what the heck? It's kind of crazy how they kept that whole underground thing hidden. And
yeah, I'm mad about it because my God, it would have been nice to know how cool this was earlier.
But then again, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised. Because actually, when I did see that, I was like, bro, they literally, as big as the surface of Hyrule is, the whole underground's basically that same size. I thought it was segmented it off, but, there's like some. It kind of is, but.
There's like walls, but,
Yeah, it's kind of walls.
The whole map.
But it's basically the same size as the whole map. Because once I got like one of them skeleton horses that are like in Breath of the Wild, they actually got a purpose down there in the depths because they can literally step over this thing that's called the Gloom, which is kind of like the equivalent of like Malice that was in Breath of the Wild. No, I started seeing how big that place truly was. You get some insane enemy types in here. Yes, the Yiga clan and stuff is back. And it's just a whole nother level of difficulty down there just purely because of the fact that it's just pitch black down there. So it's like, well, what else are you gonna do? Oh, I think I. Oh, you gotta make like a little watermill. Oh, okay. But no, yeah, it's just little things like that, and I think with the Ultra Hand ability, it makes all of these other areas that much more interesting in terms of you going through, knocking out shrines and stuff like that. Because I feel like everybody's approach with this game is to be drastically different from like
So
everybody
Zard,
else. Yeah,
at
what?
the moment, okay, I don't know where it lets me check it. I think I've gone and done like at least 40 shrines now. So I feel like this game is just nice and free to let you do whatever you want.
It really is.
But well, the difference between this game and Breath of the Wild is that this game has a clear story.
Oh
Well, Breath of
yeah,
the Wild,
and we.
this game has a motive. You have a thing to save, and you actually see it. There's a mystery there. I don't know, Breath of the Wild, it's like, okay, so she's at Hyrule Castle. Go there whenever you want. But until then, I guess do a thing to make it easier. Well, I don't, I'm assuming this game will take the route of having alternate endings. I hope, right?
I don't
That'd be
know.
better.
I don't know if it would
I
or would not.
I
It'd be
think
interesting.
it'd be better. I think it would be better to have like a different ending if you got the things instead of didn't get the things. That's all I'll say.
No, yeah, I could see it.
I don't know, cause that would make, cause obviously Zard, I ain't a spoiler. You can go straight to the end of this game if you'd like.
Oh no, it's the same thing as Breath of the Wild. Yeah, absolutely for sure.
Yeah, so that ain't a spoiler to say. I hope at least.
No, because I felt like people kind of got the gist of it from Breath of the Wild whenever they first saw that. They were like, oh, I guess you probably could. But the way how they tell their story, it's like it kind of make it incentivize you, kind of like, hey, you best to probably not do that. Because at least you probably want to see most of the story stuff. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Wait, I think I gotta charge these things up or something?
It's nice. It is nice to be in the Great Plateau again. It's just a nice feeling.
Now, let me talk about this little intro story thing. Like, so basically the second you boot up the game, though, it's kind of interesting how when you fire up the game for the first time, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm about to start it up, about to see the intro screen and whatnot, get to choose your menu options, if you want to rename your character, yada, yada, yada. You didn't get none of that. It literally threw you straight up into the thing. I thought it was like a movie intro sequence, so I was like, "Oh, okay, this is kind of cool." No, and then immediately they throw you up into the action for what's happening, into the action of like the actual game itself. I was like, "What the heck?" I was like, there's some games that are like that, but not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. I was like, oh shoot. I mean, did you get that?
All four of these eyes.
Did you get that feeling too, or no?
What?
For that feeling whenever they did the intro like that, like they just seamlessly went up into it.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Zard. I already knew about it because I was spoiled, but guess what? It was still cool.
Bruh.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't closed this game, so I don't even know what it looks like if you exit it and come back. Do you know?
Oh, no, yeah, I know what it looks like. Yeah.
Is it like Breath of the Wild, where it's just him standing there?
No, it's just like the mural, and that's
Okay.
it.
I wonder if it will change.
I don't know. I mean, if it did change, maybe when you beat the game or something like that. I don't expect it to do much of anything else, really.
Yeah. Also, this is like a small thing. I'm gonna be completely honest. The Sheikah tech in this game is a lot more visually distinct than the Sheikah tech in like the tech in this game. Ancient tech, the Zonai tech. I like it a lot more than the Sheikah tech.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it does stand out a little bit more.
It just feels, yeah, like, I don't know, it's the Sheikah stuff, the light blue, it was a nice color, But now in this game, you kind of have a fusion of that, where Link's got like still got like the Sheikah, like POPCULTURE pad or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
it kind of really does feel like they wiped any mention of Guardians or Sheikah, which to me still feels weird. Like, I don't know. I guess because they're trying to market this. I bet they're trying to market this as being able to approach it if you haven't played Breath of the Wild.
Oh no, yeah, 'cause they even did like a story recap thing on like YouTube, so you can fully check that out there if you wanted to.
Damn it, just like Breath of the Wild, I need to figure out how to cross this river.
Bro, what all of that for an opal, bro? I thought that was gonna give me a key or something. The heck? All right.
I wonder if these skeleton enemies get harder. I don't remember if they did in Breath of the Wild.
I don't know if they get much tougher or whatnot though. I feel like I still need this battery, whatever it is. Okay. It's little stuff like this. Like I was walking around trying to figure this mess out, and you have like a little battery thing, right? So you gotta ultra hand and make like a water or basically what are those things called? Basically like a watermill or whatnot. You gotta ultra hand and
Yeah.
basically do that. Charge the battery up, pick the battery back up, and then drop it off on a little thing that is basically can like hold a battery, and it operates a little thing that's like a fan thing that will take you up higher. It's little things like that where I'm like, it kind of feels like classic, Zelda dungeony kind of stuff, just to a whole new level.
Yeah.
So like,
A lot
even
of
if we
cool.
didn't have dungeons in this game, I felt like this was still pretty cool. It's a lot closer in Tears of the Kingdom than what it was in Breath of the Wild. Yeah, those runes and stuff were kind of interesting, but it ain't
Yeah.
nothing like this.
So I've completed 42 shrines.
See, you've been putting a lot more time up it. Wait, where does it tell you that? Or you completed all of them?
Loading screen.
Okay. That's what I was thinking, because that's how Breath of the Wild did it. I felt like I did 7. Got 2 more extra. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I felt like I did 15. You said you did 42?
Yeah.
Bruh. Wait, where is it at? I'm in the loading screen, but it's not telling me. Oh, there we go. 19, I guess. 19. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the second one on your right, I guess. Whenever it pops up, yeah. So it should be like 19. Hey, at least I completed that shrine, so it'll be real quick and easy for me to head back over here. Shoot, the problem is I don't have any elevation. Dang it. It'll take too long for me to climb one of these things. Well, gosh dang.
I'm over here trying to find out how to make a boat out of only Zonai devices.
A boat out of only Zonai devices? Bruh.
Yeah, because you have those like sleds. I don't know if you've gotten any of them.
Sleds. Oh. No, yeah.
And I'm trying to use the sleds combined with a rocket to get across this river at max speed.
No, that's the thing I still need to find more of in this game. I need to find more rockets because I feel like rockets are really nice.
I found the gacha full of them.
Oh shoot, I need to find that gotcha. Where do you find that miss at?
I could, let me check.
Because I think, isn't there a way how, depending on the gotcha machine you're at, it marks it in your sky version of the map, so you can kind of know? It marks it
and tells you which items you got from it.
Yeah, let me pull up my map real quick, because I think I only found like a couple of things so far.
Just 1 second. I just need to get across this river. Because what I'm doing... Zard, by the way, rockets, extremely useful. They're the Revali's Gale of this game. Put one on your shield, Revali's Gale.
No, yeah, that's the reason why I kind of want that one, because I'm like, I miss Revali's Gale so much, I ain't gonna lie.
There is also a cave in the Great Plateau. Like, that's what I like, Zard. There's actually reasons to revisit a bunch of old areas that you might think have nothing, just because of the caves.
Yeah. No, yeah,
And
because
they
I
are
think I
pretty cool.
only have access to the one at the start that gives you the flame emitter, fan, and portable pot. And then there's another one that gives you like the wing, sled, fan, cart, and light.
Let me
I
see.
found
Let me
those
check
two,
my
and
map.
those are the only two I found so far.
By the way, there are some of the Zonai dispensers on the surface. There's one in Kakariko Village,
Hmm.
but only like 3 of them.
Wait,
And
you
there's
said what
also
in the village?
Kakariko Village. There's one of those Zonai gacha machines.
Oh, in
Okay, so
Kakarito Village.
so yeah, so I found the one where I got it. It's in a dungeon.
Oh, it's actually in a dungeon, bro.
That's all I'll tell you, Zard. It's in a very spoilery dungeon. You're not gonna get there for a bit.
Dang. At least what I've been trying to do
Wait,
so
no, there's
far,
another one.
I just been trying
Found
to
it.
fill up the whole map.
Hey, Zard, conveniently, it's the one above the Great Plateau. There's a decently sized sky island above the Great Plateau.
Okay. I gotta muster some
So there you
strength and
go.
go back and do that. Okay.
Well, no, Zard, here's what you can do. You could just go. Best thing you can do is go to that tower right there, the Hyrule Field Skyview Tower, and you can maybe even reach it from there.
I feel like most of those towers they shoot you up high in the air, yes, but I guess you need to make some kind of contraption because I know I can't glide that far.
Blizzard,
Well, hold on.
all I'm gonna tell you,
That is a
use your
great plateau.
creativity.
Mm.
Use your creativity. The game heavily encourages you to like be finding stuff on your own like that.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's my goal at least right now. Is just to go through, knock out shrines, get more of my hearts, get more of my stamina back, and I'll see where I'm currently at once I got the whole. Because it bothers me to open up my map like this, look at this, and I don't have the full thing filled out. Like I think that was the first thing I also did in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but you also, I don't know, the way I see it, you don't want to overwhelm yourself and be like, oh, okay, these are the areas I know for a fact I've explored. That's the way I see it.
Hey, shut up, bro. Give me your meat.
Sir?
I'm sorry, I was talking to this. Well, fine. I'll just bust it open. Oh, finally, I found some arrows. Thank goodness I actually ran across this.
So, I guess another thing I can talk about this game is the tutorial area is debatably not as good as the Great Plateau, but does a great job at showing just the versatility of Ultra Hand.
Oh,
And
yeah, it
mostly
does.
that. Because, I don't know, Ascend is not really used that much in the first island. But they give you tons of, like, you know, the minecart sections where they expect you to make, like, minecarts and all that. It was a great place to use all that. And also, just so many different sized floating islands. It was fun. Nice little area. Now I'm in a shrine. Uh-oh.
Now I can flurry rush this punk. Get up in there. I got better with my flurry rushes because I could not do that for the life of me in Breath of the Wild. Get some. Yeah, get wrecked, punk. Oh, you dropped me some rupees. I'll take that.
I don't necessarily know how they want me to complete this shrine.
What? That green one's way over there? Oh my gosh. No, yeah, I do miss Revali's Gale quite a bit. That's the one ability I miss from Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, not Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild so much. That one right there.
Really? Revali's Gale is the one you miss?
Yeah, for like, until I get the rock and I can attach that to my shield, absolutely. But then again, with Revali's Gale, I guess I had recharge time. So I guess in both ways, between that or slash using your rockets that are gonna break, they kind of both worked its way out, I guess. But yeah, what the heck is this thing over here? Oh, I found Kakarito Village. Finally. I like how you were mentioning that at first.
Yeah, I'm having an issue understanding what they want me to do in this shrine.
I might as well visit this village while I'm over here. See, it's little things like this. It's like I have not been able to progress the story much any further beyond this because I keep running into little stuff like this. Oh, Kakarita Village. Yeah, that's the place you kind of started off in Breath of the Wild. Not start off, but it's one of the first places you kind of hit on your map whenever you're doing Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that's true.
No, like they literally basically guide you there. That's the like you go there, and then the easiest place to get from there is Zora's Domain.
Yeah.
Like, they have a very like Zard. There's a very clear path they expect you to go in Breath of the Wild, but in this game, it's more Rito first.
Bro, this dude was like, hey, you can have any of these village inns for 10,000 rupees. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's what I'll say. Rito is definitely the place they expect you to go first in this game, which I'm going there second, but that's only because, like I told you, I accidentally found a dungeon.
Hmm.
And I'm not lying when I say accidentally. It was funny.
Whew. But yeah, I think outside of... Man, I just needed one more shrine and I could have gotten an extra heart container. But I think outside of that, that's most of my impressions, and I think yours so far, without really diving into story, territory, whatnot, though. But any last thoughts on this game? So I feel like we could be here all night on this one.
It's good.
It's good. Is it worth the $70?
Personally, for me, I think with how much time I'm gonna be putting into this game, I will definitely put $70 worth of DLC in this game. Like, for example, I would buy DLC for this game. Like, and that would, like, let's just say this game with DLC would be around the, $80, $70, $80 range. And if I'm willing to buy DLC for a game like this, I see no reason why I wouldn't be able to buy other stuff for a game like this. Or, even just pay $70.
No, yeah, you're true about that.
Personally, for me, I think it's worth it, but I don't think they should continue the standard. I would not like them to do this again.
At least not on this Switch like this. Now, if they do it with their next system, but across the board it's always 70, then I'll be okay with that.
That's not okay still. They should stay at 60. Remember, these games, compared to other consoles, they are significantly underpowered.
Well, we don't know what the next system will going to look like yet. So I guess it's a wait and see situation. But knowing Nintendo, I'll say this. They definitely over there looking at God of War. I don't think necessarily the price was like that with Halo yet, or even with some of these other companies' third-party games. There's no way they're looking over there and say, you know what, our Mario, our Legend of Zelda is worth more than theirs.
Yeah, but Zard, I know for a fact.
Oh, I found the gotcha thing.
Nintendo's next console, like tech-wise, will be nowhere near anything the competition has.
I feel like the closest it probably will get will be roughly around the PS4, Xbox One level. I feel like I feel like that's the where it's going to be pretty close to. Because the thing is, the fact that they're also, I feel like they're going to stick with the hybrid nature part of it. It'd be insane if you had something that could run a PS5 level game right there. Like even, the Steam Deck and what was it? This new thing that's just got recently announced. It's got like the Asus something. Even with those systems, you could play something that's almost current gen, but you're basically doing it on like a PS4, Xbox One level. Like you're not basically playing Spiderman remastered. Well, I guess technically you can, but you're not gonna play something like super crazy on current gen without running into some hiccups, without lowering down maybe the graphics, the resolution, some of the internals on it. Like, you're gonna make those sacrifices. None of those handhelds have been that powerful yet. So I don't think Nintendo, with them not, worried about power, is gonna hit something to that level. So if they're hitting able PS4 or Xbox One, I'll be pretty content with that. Just slap 4K up on that thing and call it a day.
That's not PS4 and Xbox One, though. Like, PS4 and Xbox One came out in 2013. Do you mean, like, the PS4 Pro?
It could be somewhere between that and the Pro. It'll be nice if they can hit the Pro, but we'll see.
Zard, think about it. There's no reason why they can't. Are you really telling me that they can't, but these other gaming companies can? Pretty sure Nintendo is richer than all of them, right? I think Nintendo, by far, is the more successful one out of all three of them. Definitely sold a lot more Switches than PS4s, I think.
No, yeah, it passed the PS4, yeah.
It's not about competition, Zard. Competition is not what Nintendo's worried about. But at the same time, there are third-party games that literally just cannot run on Switch anymore. It's that underpowered. Like, Age of Calamity ran at like 20 FPS. Their games are getting more and more, like, unbearable to play in low frame rates. I think the one that I kind of wish, like, Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury was only 30 FPS. And I feel like with a more powerful console that could reach 60. Like, I hope they upgrade some of their games. I hope we get patches.
No, yeah, it'll be nice. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. But I feel like something's definitely imminent in the near future for sure. Oh, I found a balloon. There we go. And a stabilizer? The heck? And a big wheel.
So a stabilizer, when you hit it, it will keep things upright. So, like, for example, you can make a catapult out of it. So you hit it, and then it will fling the object you're on upright. Does that make sense?
Oh, it won't make, like, something that you're standing on or moving around, it won't wobble left or right. It'll stay, like, in the plane, or is it something
Yeah, well, no, it will just fling it upright. So, for example, if you put the stabilizer on a plank of wood, and then you hit the stabilizer when it's on an angle, it will flick back into position upright. So that's definitely going to be used to make some contraptions, I tell you that. It's going to be interesting.
I was wondering if you dropped something in this roulette thing and it couldn't take it, what would happen to it? And it just spits it back out. And I was like, oh, okay, good.
There, I completed this quest.
Dang, I think I'm out of stuff to put up in the thing. I thought I had more stuff. Yeah, okay. Alrighty. Well, I think in terms of my thoughts, I thought this game is freaking phenomenal. It's pretty deep. I literally could probably put pull a Persona 5 roll up on this mess. Where, maybe take a screenshot of that. Pull a Persona 5 roll on this, because for that game, I think it took me about a little more than 120 hours for me to beat. And I could easily see it for Tears of the Kingdom because there's just that much stuff to do between your sky level, your surface level, the underground, which is basically the same size as the surface level, but it's all pitch black up in that mess. The caves, your dungeons, all your shrines, and then on top of that, all the side quests that you want to do, because some of the side quests are actually pretty rewarding because it allows you to get other kind of items that you might desperately kind of want, like, for example, the sheet gear or whatnot. I heard from, I think, Alexis, he said if you do a quest, then that allows you to potentially go through and buy those parts. Little things like that make this game pretty interesting. And on top of that, everything main story-wise. So you literally could probably play this game for 30, 35 hours and not do a lick of story things the second that you hit the surface level and still have all of that to look forward to. So yeah, it's just really nice. Idea. I mean, I technically put 5 hours into the game on day one. I put, I think 5 hours again, 5 hours again. So I'm like 10, and then this is going to be about almost like a couple hours here. So I think I almost put about 17, close to 20 hours. And it's close to 30, Steven. I put 20 hours into this game, roughly. Close to 30. And I have not done a single extra story thing outside of your starting off village. So I'm almost kind of there. Just saying.
Neat. I am currently... This Great Plateau quest is relatively long. Like, the side adventures in this game are not small in the slightest.
Oh no, yeah, they're showing what for sure.
Oh, that's what this is. I better get a good reward out of this. My god, this one lasts a while. Damn, this quest they gave me is long.
What the heck am I trying to... Okay, yeah. Alright, I might need to use my thinking skills on this one to get all the way over there, though. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do it in terms of my podcast, episode 56. It was a little different of a shakeup because I definitely wanted to keep playing this game because it was a little hard to... I literally almost went the whole day without playing this thing because it is Mother's Day weekend, or technically Mother's Day for today. So if you happen to be a mother, you know of a mother out there, happy Mother's Day to all y'all people out there. Very special people indeed, though. But outside of that, that's going to basically do it for this podcast episode. Different format. Was trying to test and see how well this could work out, though. But who knows if there's another major game like this in the future. I want to be opposed to trying to do this format again. This is, something super special. Maybe I'll do this kind of format, though. But I felt like this game was definitely worthy of it. Me showing extra footage, of this game, me going through and playing through it, along with this talking about my regular stuff within my podcast episodes, though. But yeah, Steven, go ahead and let the fine people know where they can find you at.
You can find me on Twitter at StevenJr1231, and that's about it.
Alrighty. Yeah, so he's over there on Twitter. Nice dude. You can check him out on all the stuff he does over there, though. And that's going to basically do it in terms of this episode right here. So if you really like this video, make sure to go and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. And if you happen to be listening to this on one of my podcast services, maybe you don't want to see all of this extra footage. Maybe you want to take this game at your own pace or whatnot, though. You can make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that follow. If you're able to leave a review, go ahead and do that stuff, because you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, Amazon Music, yes, even iHeartRadio. You can literally hit the thing and actually listen to me in the car. Yeah, iHeartRadio. Yep.
I don't even know what that is, honestly.
You really don't know what that is? It's literally like like when but you're in New York. You don't drive cars all the time.
I'm also a Zoomer. I'm also a Zoomer. Can't forget that part.
What the freak?
Is that a relatively new thing, iHeartRadio?
No, it's actually been out for quite some time.
Okay, then yeah. I don't use any of that. I just listen to music on YouTube and stuff like everything like that.
I gotcha. Oh shoot, I can't make the distance, bro. Okay. But yeah, so that's going to basically do it in terms of this video, though. So I hope y'all really enjoyed it. Let me know what y'all thought about this new format and whatnot, though. And in terms of more coverage over Tears of the Kingdom, you might be able to expect maybe one more video later on this week, because I did manage to get my hands on the limited edition, so you know what that means, though. But yeah, outside of that, whenever I feel like it, I could be streaming this mess over here on my Twitch channel. All the extra stuff, all those streams I do over there, since Twitch is weird. They always like, shutting that mess down and deleting your streams and whatnot, though. Anything I stream on Twitch can go to my extras channel, so you can check out those two sources as well, because I'm pretty sure this won't be the last time I'm going through and streaming Tears of the Kingdom, though. But yeah, that's going to basically do it in terms of this episode, though. So, remember, y'all, until where a video I make next, until my ZardCast episode, what will be episode 57, I'll see y'all later.